Good morning, Sierra Wilderness. This is gonna be some good hiking. Pretty excited. Lots of meadows. Hiking through some actual meadows to start the day off. So this would be sort of lower Sierra climate. Still a little bit of these kind of shrubby desert plants. And of course there's wind. There's always wind. But some cool looking mountains. There's some pretty big looking pine forests in the distance. And I think by the end of today, I will have gone from 6,500 feet to 10,500 feet in elevation, almost as high as the peak of San Jacinto. That was 10,800. So I'm interested to see how the scenery is going to change as we get up into the high Sierra. Should be cool. Starting to look pretty rugged. Some big cliffs, some big climbs ahead. Playing with the little chipmunks this morning. Trying to get my food. Trees and rocks. Wow. So I stopped just a minute ago to take a picture of this cool double peak that was off in the distance. And now the trail is leading me towards it. And actually I just checked my maps. On the other side of that little ridge, there's like a big bowl. And in that bowl is Chicken Spring Lake, which is where I'm planning to camp tonight. It's gonna be cooler, way cooler than I was thinking even. I mean, a lake sounded cool, but now it's gonna be a bowl in a mountain lake. So I'll show you that when I get there. Chicken Spring Lake in the morning. What a beautiful place this is. The lake is nice and clear. Alright, here it is. I think we finally have the view of Mount Whitney. Off over there. So the trail winds down to the bottom. And then there's a side chute trail. Goes up to Whitney and back down. And this is so awesome. Mount Whitney behind me. It's like a mountain from the Never-Ending Story or something. So cool actually being out here. Such a distinct looking peak. I'm on the way up the Whitney Summit Trail. I'm just following this stream bed almost, paralleling it up into some big cliffs. And everyone says it's pretty beautiful up here at the summit. I think I'm gonna hike another 2 miles and camp at Guitar Lake, and then make the summit first thing in the morning. So, should be great. Alright, the first lake, Timberline Lake. I even saw some fish jump out of the water to catch bugs. It's beautiful. So this is at Guitar Lake, just before the final push up to the top of Whitney. It's at sunset. This place is unbelievable. I can't even capture the scope of it in one camera pan. There's the actual lake. When I get up higher, see how it looks like a guitar. Bunch of people camping out here, planning to summit in the morning. That's what I'm gonna do too. So it's about 6 a.m. and I'm heading up Whitney. There's Guitar Lake behind me, and you can see over here where I'm headed. There's a bunch of switchbacks up and down, and then I walk along the ridge to the top peak up there. This is gonna be cool. So I've still got quite a bit of climb left. Switchback, but I'm pretty much higher than most of these other mountains I've been seeing from the bottom. I guess there's a lot of things in this universe to make a man feel pretty small. Sneak peek. Getting close. Still gotta go all the way up and on top. This mountain is no punk. Here it is, Mount Whitney. Frozen lakes down there. Another one over there. Probably the town of Lone Pine. So there's a path up to the top here from Lone Pine on the west side. Over there. You can see the switchbacks. And then there's the PCT side from the east that comes up through the canyon. 14,505 feet. One more look here from the crown of the king, Mount Whitney, at 14,505 feet. It's the tallest point in the contiguous U.S. And it is about 5 mile hike up from Guitar Lake. Took me about 3 hours. Great view. And there's an old shelter up here too. Built in 1909. So the route up Mount Whitney from Guitar Lake over there is pretty interesting, actually. Just noticing the way. So Mount Whitney is there, and you can't even see the peak because it's over on the other side. So the way you get up there is you follow the path out of Guitar Lake up over this way, and then basically you switch back all the way up this mountain onto the ridge up there. So past these cool spires, and then there's some snow left up there that you have to navigate down along the ridge line onto the far side where you see a little bit of a mound right there. And then there's even a whole section to the peak that you can't see from here. Very cool. Walked over to this little lake I could see, or I guess pond, and it's just pretty cool. Looks like a prehistoric pond or something. Epic mountains in the distance. So much trout racing in this stream. Eating bugs, I guess. I guess they come up here from the Guitar Lake. And there was actually a gold eagle flying in this canyon earlier. Hoping I could catch him again, but he flew off down that way. This is a really cool place. PCT here has joined up with the John Muir Trail for a while through the Sierras, and just came to a cool meadow with some neat mountains in the background at sunset. And just cool walking out here. So yesterday, climbed Mount Whitney, 14,505 feet. And today, I'll be going over Forrester Pass in about 5 miles, which is 13,000 and some change. So, Mount Whitney is actually not officially on the Pacific Crest Trail. It's a side trip to go climb it and come back. So Forrester Pass is actually the highest point on the PCT. So I'll be reaching the highest point today, and I guess you can say from there it's all downhill to Canada, technically. But it's been pretty interesting. The John Muir Trail starts right there at Mount Whitney, and so I've been seeing quite a few John Muir Trail hikers, which is like a 200-mile trail. It's a good 2-week trip probably for most people. But so far the scenery is great, and the PCT and the John Muir Trail are actually the same for a good section of miles, maybe till I get to Yosemite. So I'm gonna keep moving. I should be in Independence in about a day. Got to go over another pass, Kearsarge Pass, to get there. It's another unfortunate side trip, 7.5 miles off the PCT down Kearsarge Pass to get to Independence, but I've only got a couple meals left, so I definitely got to go down and resupply food. Okay, I just came up this valley over here behind me, and there's some pretty cool scenery. Another nice little lake. And I'm actually on the approach to Forrester Pass, which there's these mountains all around here. There's a couple more just over that little rock ledge. But Forrester Pass, where I'm going to go over, is that little notch right there. That's Forrester Pass at 13,000 feet. And I guess the trail actually does like a switchback kind of thing up this face and then over the top. So it's kind of hard to believe from this view, but I'll get some more shots as I get closer. Beautiful, partially frozen lake. Water's so clear. So I think I'm about halfway up. There's some people over there on the pass right now. And I'm working my way up this cliffside. You can see how high I've actually gotten here above those lakes. And there's the switchbacks themselves. So here it is, the top of Forrester Pass. There's a little bit of trail after that switchback. Came around up there. Now we're heading down the other side. Snowy. So I'm coming down here from the pass, Forrester Pass. This is the other side. Really cool looking lakes and peaks. And that's the pass right there. I'm all the way down below the tree line now, but I can still actually kind of make out where the pass is, right next to that jagged peak. That's where Forrester Pass is. This mountain's just hanging in the background. Just taking a break here at Bullfrog Lake on the way down to Independence. Beautiful spot. Found another nice little pond here with a place to camp nearby tonight. There's a fish jumping out of the water to catch bugs. They're pretty small fish, but and then tomorrow morning I'll go up there. Here's the trail over Kearsarge Pass and into Independence. Awesome. Okay, I actually just walked a little further down. There's actually 1, 2, 3 lakes here, at least. I didn't go all the way down there. So I just finished the first stretch of the Sierra. Came up Kearsarge Pass to Independence and got a ride to Bishop, where there's some pretty good gear stores. And getting ready for the next section, I just got some new tips on my trekking poles. If it'll focus on them here, you can see what the new ones look like. Here's the the old ones that I pulled off. One of them I actually sheared the metal tip off and this one's like way worn down compared to the new one, so that's good. These are actually glued on. Black Diamond actually glues these on to the end of the pole, and you can buy just the replacement tip. It was $10 for the two of them, but I had to actually boil these in a pot of water to get the glue loose enough to pull them off and put those new ones on. So that's one upgrade. And I also got a new stove. My other one, MSR Pocket Rocket, was starting to sputter a little bit, so I picked up this one that's 1.7 ounces. It's a little bit lighter and looks like a pretty solid stove. Same thing, you just screw it onto any canister. So a couple more new pieces of gear, and lots of food. I got the bear can full and this bag full. I'm trying to carry 7 days to get to Red's Meadow, which is like 120 miles, and the Sierra hiking is a bit tougher, so the mileage is a bit lower than it could be. We'll see how this does.